Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Dimension X Digital's Free It Friday, where we take vintage figures and we free them from their plastic and cardboard prisons. And we look at these toys like they were meant to be looked at. Last time we looked at a 2003 McFarlane Matrix figure, the Neo figure from the lobby shootout. And this week we have a Kenner 1992 Terminator 2 Future War Hidden Power Terminator figure. This poor guy has been stuck in this packaging for 27 years. This figure is old enough to drink, it's old enough to rent a car, it's old enough to go to war, and it's old enough to smoke. So I think it's time we let him out and we take a real look at him, especially when it's a figure like this that has like some of these older figures have little action features, something that's not really even apparent in the packaging. And now I will admit, I almost didn't want to open this guy up just because this beautiful box art. The plus side is the box art is all up here, so we can open them up. I mean, that's the point of the show. So let's take a look at him. Let's take a close look at this guy. This is the Hidden Power. I think this is from like the second or third wave of these figures. This isn't the same wave as the the famous Power Arm Terminator. He does come with they really love giving him hooks and grips on these guys, but no, he is from another wave. This one, I believe his arm swivels forward, and he can launch this hook out. And I believe it exposes something on his chest here, like it exposes some detail. Now, here's the real beauty of this. Look at this packaging. Back when they showed you what figures you could buy, I miss this. I miss looking at the back of a box and going, oh, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one. Not really a thing anymore. Now it's always just like some weird art piece or like a picture of the character that you just bought. You don't know what else to get. You have to go online and do some research. But I mean, look at all these. Battle Ready Terminator, Chromium, Hidden Power Terminator, the one we're going to look at today, Metal Mash Terminator, Hot Blast Terminator, Rapid Repair Terminator, which looks really cool. I actually might try to track this one down. He kind of looks like let me see. Kind of reminds me of maybe the Tech Noir look or something like that. Like something a little more everyday. But I like that you can switch out. It looks like you can switch out his arms with field repair tools. That's pretty cool. Cyber Grip Villain. Pretty straightforward. And 3-strike Terminator, and then of course down here we have the official Terminator 2 figures. Not the Future War. Future War is like an expanded universe kind of thing. It wasn't. They didn't have a cartoon. Endoglow Terminator. This John Connor here. NECA is going to be releasing a new version of that. Unfortunately, it's convention exclusive. Kind of a bummer. White Hot T1000. We just saw NECA remake this guy, and the exploding T1000. Now, when I was a kid, I remember there was a kid named Cameron. He invited me to his birthday party, and it was at, I believe I mentioned this place in another video of mine. It was called Pistol Pete's Pizza. It's kind of like Chuck E. Cheese, but it was like locally owned. And I remember stopping at a Target and buying this figure for his birthday. So every time I see that, I always get flashbacks to that birthday party when I was, 92? How old was I? I said 9 years old. Nostalgia. I mean, 27 years. I mean, it's in pretty good shape too. It got some corner wear, whatever, but no major bends or anything. It's actually some people might get a little mad at me for opening this, but I mean, truthfully, I bought this for, I think it was $9. Yeah, $9. So I don't think anyone's gonna be crying about losing the value. And like I said, I'm gonna save the back of the box, so don't worry, it's not going in a shredder or anything. So let's open this guy up. Well, first let's see what we have. We have the Terminator figure here. It's got a little bit of damage here with a weird integrated earpiece. His arm is folding over here, and it's sculpted into the body, so I believe when you like squeeze his leg or something, his arm actually twists out. It comes with a little like submachine gun here, and one of Kenner's patented grips that came with like every Terminator figure. So let's open this guy up. 27 years. I wouldn't be surprised if dust flies out of this guy, like when they open the Ark of the Covenant or something. Trapped air. And I'm going to use my knife so we can get a nice clean... there Actually, I don't think that's going to work that well. Maybe if I go this way. Let's see. Ooh. I'm just going to use my hands. I think it's a little better. There we go. Alright. Look at that. Nothing like opening a vintage toy, I'll tell you. And there's that awesome card. We'll set that aside. Now let's get him out. You might notice another little thing in the back there. We're going to look at that too. That was a little birthday present. So. Alright. Let's get that figure. Get that hook. And let's take that. So, let's look at this figure. I don't know if some of you were around in '92, but between this, Aliens, Toxic Crusaders, it was this odd time where companies could make toys based on, RoboCop, of course, based on R-rated films and market them to young kids. And it was a wonderful time to be alive. So let's look at this a little more. It's pretty straightforward Terminator figure. I do like the exposed arm there. It is kind of a shame that it's kind of like that. See, boom, he pops out, and you can see the what do you call it? The endoskeleton. Yeah, right there. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, you squeeze his arms, or you squeeze his legs, sorry, and he pops forward. So that's pretty neat. Well, I think I hear my kids. 1 minute. Alright, I'm back. Sorry, my kids were taking naps and I could hear them fussing. Anyways, on the back of the box it says something about the storyline with these, is these tattoos on the Terminators are proof that they've been reprogrammed to protect humans, so that they're on the human side. So that's kind of an interesting little take on it. I've never really explored that kind of Terminator lore, you know. So let's see. Let's get this in there. Assuming. Ooh, how does this even fit? This thing's nuts. Oh, I see. It goes like that. And it does. It does fit. And let's see. Yeah. There you go. And does it shoot? We'll shoot Biollante. Yeah, it still works. Awesome. Pretty cool. Took 27 years for this guy to get to shoot his weapon. And does he stand? Of course he does. Vintage toys always stood. Well, that's not true. The 80s Ninja Turtles were kind of hard to stand. And G.I. Joes once they got really broken in. But some of these old Kenner ones, I mean, these guys, they were meant to be rough, kind of handled a little roughly by kids. But yeah, it's so cool to, look, it's always nice to open these kind of vintage toys too, because, it's just amazing to see, because a lot of times you'll find them loose and they're all beat up, the limbs are loose and there's scuffs all over, stuff like that. But when you can find one for cheap and you just want to open it and kind of enjoy it, you get to open it and it's mint, it's just like it was when you were a kid, or when your parents were kids. Some of the people who might be watching these videos, I forget how old I'm getting, and we'll get to that when we get to the Biollante. But yeah, what a cool find. I think a lot of people are kind of coming back to this Terminator line now that NECA did their kind of Kenner tribute series, which I'm kicking myself because I traded away my Power Arm Terminator about a month or two ago, and I would have loved to set them side by side, but of course this isn't even the Power Arm. But honestly, for a 27-year-old figure, for something that probably retailed for $3.99 or something like that back in the day, we're talking, this is not a bad likeness to Arnold. Look at that. That's pretty good. There's actually some decent detailing, like in the sculpt, like the muscle, well, of course it's an 80s figure. Of course the muscle, the shape of the muscles and the stuff is spot on, because that's what everything was back then. Every action figure was on steroids. But look at this. You've got veins coming out of his arms. Really nice paint application. It's not sloppy at all. Lines are really nice and sharp. A lot of details, fabric folding in the legs, and buckles on the boots. It's not in a completely static pose. They got the endoskeleton arm looking good there. A lot of very movie accurate, in all honesty. So even the gun looks pretty good. There's a lot of, sorry, I messed with my auto tracking. I'm trying to make it so this auto tracks because I was having so many issues with my focus last time. But I think this might not be much better. But I'll do my best to make it through the video. But I mean, look at even this rifle has a lot of cool little detail on it. So gotta say props to Kenner for being able to deliver back in the day. I just love that still works though. Wow. I love that he pulls his rifle out too, kind of like springs into action, ready to go. And this shoots really nice. Let's see how far back we can get. Wow. Yeah, that thing's got some spring to it, man. Only a handful of kids have died from choking on spring-loaded toys, so why not go all out, It's funny, he kind of reminds me of like a Rob Liefeld kind of comic book character with this strap here. Kind of reminds me of like Cable or, something like that. I do think it's kind of funny that his gun like fits directly into his chest, like he planned it. I'm not really sure what it's hiding, unless it. I don't know why it's called hidden power. It's not really hiding anything, especially when he's exposed his Terminator-ness, in two places. But yeah, what a cool figure, man. So nice to have this guy free, and I think my son will have a cool little Terminator figure to play with here pretty soon. So yeah, another episode of Free It Friday in the bag. I'm sure a lot of people, hopefully people enjoy it. I'm not doing it to ruffle any feathers, honestly. I just think it's cool to find some mint condition toys and maybe something you don't see very often, and get them out and let them do what they're meant to do. Let them draw these weapons out. Let them shoot their missiles. Let's enjoy them for what they are. Let's let them live their lives. So I'm going to shoot this thing off one more time, and then we're going to take a quick little look at that Biollante back there. All right, fire in the hole. Oh, let me move my hand there. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so let's set him aside, and let's look at this Biollante here, because I was pretty excited to get this. This is like a late. My birthday was early July, and so I've got a couple gifts here and there from people I maybe didn't see in a while. But anyways, got this Bandai vinyl Biollante figure, and it's really cool. And of course, do I want a Monster Arts, or similar quality Biollante figure? Oh, of course I would. Now, however, do I want to spend $1,500 on it, which is what the cheapest Bandai Monster Arts, the Monster Arts Biollante figure on Amazon right now? There is one available. It is $1,500. Totally not possible for me right now. However, other than the tentacles, and of course the small details, like if you look at the, it's kind of like what we looked at with that King Ghidorah vinyl, where there's not any space really in between the teeth. It's kind of like sculpted into like the gums, which is it's a small thing. Also, like little things like there's no paint under some of the tusks here on the side. But honestly, I mean, if you're gonna spend, what is it? This one goes for like $25-$30, depending on where you're buying it from. I'm sure you might even be able to find it cheaper, but just depends on what the market is, honestly. If you throw a little paint on this guy, he could look pretty nice, because even the Monster Arts one, proportionally and sculpt wise, I mean, it's not that different. I mean, there's a lot of really nice detail in this, like like the dorsal I don't know if you would call them fins, or more almost like leaves, because what is it? It's Godzilla DNA that's infused with like plant DNA. I think it's like a rose bush. and he's got tentacles. It's supposed to have 4 main tentacles. Now on this one, only these 2 are posable and like full size. And then you got 2 more on his back that are not painted any further. They're just green, and they are, they're not like really articulated, but they're there. I really like the detailing in the dorsal area, down here, all the little vine work, and even in the mouth. The mouth has some really great, like his all the extra teeth or whatever on the inside of his mouth. I would love some space in between there, but what can you do, honestly? The eyes look sharp. All the details really sharp. It's really nice. I mean, for a vinyl figure, a lot of people just collect vinyls for Godzilla. That's kind of what is available or was available, and it really does. They're at least nice placeholders. This is probably not going to be a placeholder. It's probably going to be in my Biollante unless Powerball numbers are given to me in a dream and I can go win that. Otherwise, I probably won't be dropping $1,500 on a figure of any kind, anytime soon. So, in the meantime, I'm really happy to have this. Now, talking about Godzilla, NECA announced the 64 Godzilla vs. Mothra figure, which looks really great. And they're really stepping up their Godzilla stuff. So just a little side note, SDCC is happening. A lot of big toy announcements, a lot of Power Rangers Lightning, big Transformers stuff, new NECA stuff, and of course, it's only like the first, preview and first day and whatnot. So a lot of stuff that's going to be revealed in the next day or two. So maybe I really wish I could edit right now, because right now editing is just kind of a pain with my setup, but I would love to, kind of do a little news recap or something. Maybe I can knock one out. We'll see, but no promises. But in the meantime, another episode of Free It Friday down. A quick little look at this awesome vinyl Biollante. And just one more time for the road. Let's show off what this guy can do. Yeah. Yep, brings me back. I'm telling you, time to be alive, man. When R-rated movies were getting awesome, awesome toy releases. So, until next time, guys. Happy hunting, and take care.